Okay, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? We are live and we are so excited for this show. I'm just trying to figure out how to make myself full screen here. I'm going to add Trip and Rob to the stage. We are all three here today, and it's going to be a fantastic show for you guys. We are so excited, so excited. Happy Friday, everybody. We're coming full of energy. And yeah, we're here to answer everybody's question, which is, buy now or wait for the dip, which already has seemingly started. So yeah, we're going to let you guys in on a little bit of those secrets. But first off, man, thank you guys all so much for being here. Smash that like. You know, we're doing a giveaway today of 1 free month for our trading group that could potentially change your life forever. And I'm not exaggerating about that. I mean, I often say this when I'm at conferences and people are like, is it worth it to go to these events? It's like, literally, you could be one conversation away from changing your whole life forever. And that's just how I approach life. And that's how magical things have happened. So maybe just being in this chat right now on this Friday is going to lead to something truly amazing. So thank you guys all for being here. Let's see who's in the house. Josh DeGreat says he's just indifferent. Well, you know what? That's better than being emotional. What we don't want is to get all disgruntled about what's happening with the charts today. We're always staying cool, calm, and collected on this channel. And yeah, so good morning, Andrew from California. Yeah, Dan, hello. Welcome to the show. JD, good morning. Nino, ADA U.S. government blockchain. Actually, funny you say that. On my podcast with Charles Hoskinson, he said that, now listen to this, our mutual friend, which is Snoop Dogg's son, Cordell, called him and said he needed to go to Mar-a-Lago to have a conversation with Trump about crypto legislation. And long story short, it didn't end up happening because ADA got renounced as like a potential reserve, but there is something going on there. I mean, there's definitely something. Charles is definitely like advising in some sort of way, I think, anyway. But yeah, that's super cool. 808 Mimis, welcome to the show. Yeah, raw food writer, let's go. JD, ADA hit 86 cents and broke resistance. Let's roll. That's right. It definitely did. It was showing some strength. It's looking good. I DCA every weekend, but I feel like I missed out a lot on some of the gains this week, and I kind of want to dive in early. Okay, good, young sniper, because that's something we're going to cover on the stream today, is how to manage those emotions, and that there will always be another opportunity and another trade that is better than the one you missed. So don't chase those pumps, right? We're going to go over that today. Manifesting that win, that a girl. I mean, yeah, you go get it, Mimis, 808 Mimis from Maui, right? That's what you have to do. You just have to have the right mindset, the winning mentality, right? Like, you're going to do whatever it takes to succeed. Go off the grid for a little bit. Your friends will understand you're undertaking a huge mission here, which is, you know, to get financial freedom, to come out on the other side, to learn everything you possibly can right now. Christina, hello. Could you do an analysis on Pulse Chain? Oh, wow. We got Pulse Chain people in the chat, potentially at the end of the stream. And guys, don't forget, we are going to do that giveaway. So stay tuned till the end. Real Ice Bear, Skull. I tried never to buy a green candle. That's right. That's a good overall general strategy, right? Depending on what time frame. But yeah, I mean, you don't want to chase the trades, guys. And that's something that we talk about a lot on this channel. But before we get into it, I have to say, I am having my cocktail, my ATH all-time high cocktail, right? Because we're celebrating on this channel. We're celebrating today. And also, I know it's a little weird, but I also have my coffee. So I feel like I should have just made an espresso martini and called it a day. But let me know what you're drinking out there. Let me know where you're at. Where your mind's at, most importantly, because a lot has happened in between yesterday and today, okay? So we're going to go into some news bits before we get into strategy. And so we're going to talk about exactly what the title says. Is it time to buy now? What are we looking at on higher time frames, on shorter time frames, the Trip? We're going to go over all of that analysis. And also, Rob, our lead leverage analyst, has some very good, interesting leverage trades for us. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that, and also some strategy talk. So get your charts ready. We will be taking some requests today because it's a Friday and we're having a party and we're having a great time and coming with a lot of energy. So let's just have a look at some of the news before we dive into this, okay? Just to catch ourselves up. And this is why we always say, tune out the noise, because man, literally the most epic thing happened yesterday, right? In that we literally got the bill passed, the Genius Act passed. And then it was like a sell the news event. So that's what happens when you're sort of like basing your trades on what's going on in the news, right? You can get faked out. I don't know if it's letting me share my screen today, guys. It's acted a little strange. I'll just read it to you then. Just a few updates, right? So the Genius bill got passed, and it was a huge deal, and we should be celebrating. We are celebrating. The charts reacted a little bit differently, but that's just how it goes. So SEC Chair Paul Atkins congratulates the House of Representatives on passing the Genius Act. It is a big deal. I don't care what the charts are doing tomorrow. You better be bullish on this space, because that is a huge monumental shift in the way things will be done forever. It officially passes also the anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act. Phenomenal. President Trump to open the $9 trillion U.S. retirement market to crypto investments, which is great. I actually just talked to iTrust, which is a massive company in the U.S. and California, actually making this happen. Ethereum just ripping, XRP doing phenomenal. And more news on how they want Jerome Powell out. Just moving forward, there is momentum, which is the key to getting these markets off the ground, right? It's just that momentum shift. And the SEC considers innovation exemption from regulations to boost tokenization. Wow. Cardano surpasses $30 billion market cap. Holy moly. ETH surpasses 430 billion. We're looking good, guys. And then we've got Dave Portney, who admits he sold his XRP 2 weeks ago and is crying. Now he's crying. Coinbase stock reaches new all-time high. We're going to go over actually a new entry for Coinbase stock today with Trip, and just a few more pieces of news. I mean, there's so many things going on. It's hard to kind of like navigate, but it says here, Trump's digital director, the director of digital assets, says passing the Genius Act means that the U.S. is securing dollar dominance and unlocking innovation. That is Bo Hines, who will also be on my podcast coming up. So super exciting. And yeah, let's see. JD Tripp said AI coins could be a buy. Talk about subchain. Lavita. Okay, Lavita. I haven't talked about that one in a while. I remember they launched with Theta, right, on Theta network. So yeah, we'll look into that. Andrew, HBAR is going to run hard when it pops. Oh yeah. I'm so excited for HBAR. Bags are loaded. That's right. So excited to get more tips on the street. That's right. 808 Mimis. Al-Munim, I recognize you. Hello, welcome back. Guys, hit the like, share the stream. Let's get as many people in here as possible. We are doing phenomenal this Friday. Zach, could this big news be another top signal, as we've seen several times before? Well, so that is what I'm trying to say, like trying to coordinate the news with what's happening in the markets. Oftentimes it's show me the charts and I'll tell you the news, but we'll get into that today because that is the topic for today, the hot topic. XRP flip tether, says Dan. Yeah, wow. Big pipeline. What's up? Welcome to the show. Okay, guys, I think on that, we are ready to get into the analysis because everybody wants to know what to do next. I mean, it's pivotal, right? We don't want to fumble the ball right now when we're this close and we're just on the tip of the iceberg. So, Trip, I'm going to add you up to the stage here. How you doing?
Pretty good, thank you. How are you, Megan?
Yeah, good. Let me add your charts here.
There we go.
All right. And just like, let's navigate a little bit what's happening right now in the markets. So I don't know if you wanted to start with coin or where Bitcoin's at. We got a lot to cover.
Yeah, we do. We can just go over coin really quickly just because it made a new all-time high. So we're going to see what the chart looks like. This is our retest entry that we had posted in our stocks trading group. That was at about 340.55. And that was just posted maybe a week ago or so. And now if we look at the chart, we've already had that awesome bounce from that support. That was about a 30% move so far. The 1.272 at $424 is acting as local resistance now. So if you wanted to find an entry, you're a little late from catching this entry down here. But if you do flip the 1.272 at this local resistance, if you turn that into support, then you probably have a nice catch for the retest there. And you can probably run this up for the rest of the move. The measured move for the whole structure, we're looking at about 650 or so.
All right, guys, we were giving this to you from a long time ago in the group, but we continue to update on the show. If you had bought coin the last time we talked about it, you'd already be in profit. So yeah, cheers to this show and to you guys because we're doing amazing things here. KDM says Rob the GOAT. That's right. Rob's on stream today. He's going to give you guys some juice, some good stuff. James, I sold my coin call options today. All right. Okay. well, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. So potentially new entry for coin. And yeah, we're doing great on the calls from last time we spoke. So it's fun to look back at that. Now let's see where Bitcoin is in the grand scheme of things when everybody's getting shaken up and talking about massive pullbacks.
Right. So this is the Bitcoin 1 week chart, and not a whole lot has changed. We've just been watching this retest on this yellow trend line so far, and we're still bumping up against the 1.272 around 119,000. So during the week, it's a weekly candle. There's a lot of movement that can happen within that one candle. So even if we zoom in a bit here, we go down to the daily, for example, here. You can see there's mostly just sideways. It's just a little bit choppy at the moment. So these are daily candles. So throughout the day, it might look like it's going up. And then the next day, it looks like it's pulling back. And then the next day, it's going up and then pulling back. So really, it's just while Bitcoin's been doing this, the altcoins have decided that they wanted to take off. So we had a massive dip on Bitcoin dominance, the one that we were talking about happening. I'm just going to go to that chart right now, just so you can see this big dip that's already started playing out here. So we've already blasted through. It was actually a previous support here. We're looking for a bounce, and now it's turned back into resistance because we're looking for a bearish retest of this level if we are to come back up to it on the 12-hour chart here. Also, the indicators are very oversold. I think this is the lowest I've seen the RSI on a 12-hour chart for Bitcoin dominance. We're sitting at about 11 in oversold territory. So it's definitely could see a bounce, at least in the short term. So I'm not too surprised that we're getting a bit of a wick, and we could see that bearish retest as a result of that oversold bounce so far.
Right. Yeah. And I know, so people are wondering what's going on with Bitcoin. I see Mimi says my Bitcoin is in the red. Well, where did you buy? I mean, I think it all depends on what your strategy is too. If you're a long-term investor in Bitcoin, I mean, we're far from over in this cycle, in my opinion, and it's just what the charts are telling us. But we're also going to go over strategies on how to trade this, right? Because I know a lot of people kind of been getting messed up in this chop. So what are we going to make of this now, Trip, that potentially we're going to have a bounce on Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin's pulling back? What would you say in the interim, in the near term?
Well, as far as Bitcoin or altcoins, or
Bitcoin.
both? For Bitcoin, well, it's hard to say what Bitcoin is going to do while dominance is bouncing right now. Usually what it means when dominance is bouncing is that there's some money going into Bitcoin. So Bitcoin could be on a pullback, as we've seen. So on this chart here, we're currently on another red candle. So if this chop continues, really we're just looking for bounces within a tight range so far. Really, we just want to stay above this yellow trend line, and we're trying to break above the 272. But until then, we could range sideways for a bit and build up a little energy before it has time to pop in one direction or the other. So really, it's just a bit of a waiting game. But dominance is definitely going to be a factor. When you see it bouncing, money's going into Bitcoin. So usually that happens when Bitcoin is trying to hold a support level. The bulls are showing up and saying, no, we don't want it to go any lower. So they're putting money into it to hold those support levels.
All right. So if you were looking to get into a trade on Bitcoin now, what would you say as far as levels to watch? I know the trend line here. What would you tell people? Because I know a lot of people are getting lost in the chop if you're trying to trade leverage. But so let's get into a little bit of strategy here.
Sure. I can't get that off my screen. There we go. Actually, we're just going to zoom in to see what's going on the lower time frame still. And we're really just waiting for some kind of a structure that we can trade. So at the moment, it looks kind of like we have sort of a double top. So we don't want to see this double top play out, but we really don't have much structure to trade yet. In my opinion, I'm waiting for something that I can trade that looks... it just looks better than what it does right now. Like I closed my Bitcoin position that I had, and I'm just waiting for a re-entry. But I'd like to see maybe if this turns into a bigger triangle or something. So maybe you have a triangle form here. We could potentially be on the lower trend line right now, but really I just want to see a bounce. The amount of a move in this little range isn't very big, right? So from this bottom to the top, it's only about a maybe 2.25% range. So I don't mind if I have to wait for the breakout. If we get a couple bounces here, maybe I'll try scaling into the position a little bit, but I would definitely have fairly tight stops just because we don't have a really nice structure quite yet.
Right. Yeah. So anybody looking to understand what's happening with Bitcoin, this is it on the lower time frames, but on the bigger picture, we are still just right on track. So nothing's changed there. Tune out the noise. Yeah, it seems as though the Genius Act being passed was a sell the news event, but really it's just a lot of noise. So it's very exciting on a fundamental level. But yeah, we're here to give it to you as it is and tell you like it is. So yeah. Oh, we have a Jade Guten Abend. Is that German? Sounds interesting. Jeremy, you're late. You're fashionably late. Don't forget, like I'm in Spain and that's okay here. So it's all good. You're just coming right to the meat, the juice of the party. We're talking about Bitcoin and when to get in. And now we're heading to altcoins. So Bitcoin is still looking good on the higher time frames. And we're going to see what's happening now with altcoins. And Mimi, been in a leverage trade for 3 days, should have exited yesterday. Okay, well, if you tell us what your levels are, maybe we can help you out with the strategy there, where you got in and what you were looking at. But that's what we do in the group, guys. We help you, walk you through the trades, help you understand ideas, maybe where you should have done something differently, and just really teach you these skills, right? So that you can navigate this market even better. So that's just it. And yeah, go ahead, Trip.
Okay, so total 3. It's got a nice little pump recently, and this is mostly because XRP and ADA and some other large caps. I think BNB also. We actually have a BNB setup ready to show later on as well. So they've all had a little volume come in, and that's probably what's pushing up total 3 for the most part. Total 3 is most of the altcoins except for Ethereum and minus Bitcoin, obviously. So any other altcoin that has a large cap is definitely going to affect the movement of total 3 and what it's doing here. We could zoom into, we'll check out the 4 hour. Really, this doesn't look like a lot has changed as far as this pullback goes. These are just like seemingly healthy corrections along the way up. We could be seeing the same sort of thing happening right now, and I don't really see a sign of why it should stop. If we go to the 15-minute chart, you can start to see a little bit of a falling wedge forming here, or a bull flag if you wanted to call it that. So these are just a couple ideas you want to keep an eye on. Really, we don't have tons of structure yet, same as Bitcoin. Really, we're waiting to see what Bitcoin's going to do next, if it's going to hold that support during this local pullback. And then we're probably going to see more movement coming from the altcoins. There was a time where it started to look like a double top here. And now we need to see at least this movement come above this level here. I'm going to draw it in really quick. So I'm going to take away the wedge. And we're just going to look at it like it's a double top, just as the short-term bearish scenario. So if this is a double top, then we should get a bearish retest here and probably continue down to the lower side. If we were to break above this, then this could potentially be a bear trap. And then you're looking for a bullish retest of this trend line again after it were to break above it. And then we're hoping for more upside continuation. So we're right in that moment where you need to see a couple of things before we pull the trigger on any decisions, like opening new trades, for example.
Yeah, this is really interesting. Even just insights like this, guys, can help you tremendously, right? If you're kind of on the sidelines and don't know really what to do or what to look at. This is it. And I just want to highlight this comment from one of our members. Trip always has great advice. I'm out of all positions until there's more clarity. Big gains the last 2 weeks. The best part of this group is the admins teach us how to think for ourselves. Yes, and that's it. And that's actually a really good point, that like you don't always need to be in a trade. In fact, the chop is really, really difficult and it can really discourage you. So sometimes there's a time to just wait on the sidelines until you have like a clear entry. And we have been having these massive gains the past couple of weeks. So that's wise, James. You can tell that you're in the group and you're learning a lot, and you're yeah, thank you so much for that support. All admins are excellent. He says, yeah, everybody loves what they do, and they have a real passion for this. So these are the kinds of concepts that we go over in the group in real time to help people kind of navigate and understand what to do next, or help with the trades, right? And help get that perspective and see it on a from a different angle, right? So yeah.
Right, we can take a look at a couple of the altcoin setups now. Or one of the ones we're looking at is EIGEN. So EIGEN layer has been, it was pretty popular when it first came out. It had a lot of hype at the moment, and then it obviously is pulled back into this consolidation period along the bottom. So now we're forming this cup and handle idea, very common. We've seen this across a lot of altcoins so far. So even if we don't get the breakout right away, the smart thing to do would just be to set an alert at this level, and that's about $1.70 or so, $1.71, and then just let the trade come to you, right? Wait for that alert to go off, and then pay attention to it again, because a lot could happen on Bitcoin or total 3 in that time. So we could potentially run up to here and get rejected a few times. So really, you don't want to try to front run this yet, just because there's a little bit of indecision in the market as far as what Bitcoin or the total 3 chart could be doing next.
Yeah, and I have a question on this. Well, mainly one I want you to answer for the group. When you're looking at a breakout trade, sometimes there's different trading conditions. And so a lot of times it'll break out and then sort of like fall below that breakout line several times before it actually holds. So what are your strategies for that trip?
Really, you want to zoom into lower time frames. That can help. So you're looking for other patterns. What can happen is if you get a breakout initially and then you get a wick down below that support, it looks like a failed breakout for a moment, and then it could pop right back up. And then the other idea is that if it comes back down to that level again, that could be forming like a double bottom, for example, maybe on the 15-minute or 1-hour charts. It really depends how big the structure is. But really, you want to zoom out to the higher time frames first, and you want to see those higher confirmations, especially on bigger structures. So for this chart, for example, I probably wouldn't use a 1-hour candle as my confirmation as a breakout. I would probably stick to seeing at least a 12-hour candle close above that level. But again, yeah, if there's those fake outs, sometimes, yeah, you get stopped out and you take a small loss depending how tight your stop loss is. If you're scaling into a trade, though, it kind of puts more control back into your hand. So if I'm entering into a breakout, I usually put a portion of my position in, and then I'll wait to see what happens. If it looks like a confirmed retest, I'll add some more. And then if it starts to pull back down inside of the pattern again, I'll wait and see what happens. And then I'll just let my risk management take over from there. There's not a whole lot you can do, right? Because the market is about a 50-50 coin flip if the breakout's going to confirm or not. It really depends on if the market conditions are really strong overall. So there's just a bunch of pieces you got to put together. Just to make sure that the trade's going to go in your favor, because there's a lot of things that could change on the Bitcoin chart, the Bitcoin dominance chart, some unexpected news, right? There's a lot of things that can go wrong. So scaling in is probably the safest way to do it, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And then go again on the retest, potentially. Scaling in it's not like, it breaks out and then you've got to go all in. I think that scaling in is probably the best advice for sure. KDM says, definitely, I see the group more than just a group. Yeah, actually, it's funny you bring that up. It's called the Capital Mindset. And the goal there was to create a group of like-minded people who had the same vision and wanted the same thing and are striving for, that financial freedom and wanted to be a part of a group of, big thinkers who can put those ideas together and go forward. We also have a stocks channel, business and investments channel within the group. So we really want to just make it more like a state of mind, right? And that's just really what it's about. And it's very, very powerful. And we have just such a great community. So yeah, really great to see that. Luyanda, is it possible to look forward to a particular day or week where we can buy at a good dip? Crystal ball stuff. Actually, it gets just as close to you get on this channel with that. We do have some interesting fib-based time charts where we've been saying that July 20th, well, actually, I'll let Trip reemphasize that. We've said it on several streams, but that July 20th seems to be a date of confluence there. So we'll go over that in a minute. What's up, Crypto Nation? I got 40 trillion mini Bitcoin president. Okay, I know what this is. Okay, JD, what's up? Thank you so much. Best crypto stream on YouTube. We appreciate you so much, JD. That's amazing. And guys, smash the like, share the stream. We're giving away 1 month to the trading group at the end of this. And I forgot to let you know, today is the last day of our 20% off sale. The link is in the description below for the group. So act now or regret it later. We'd love to have you in, and now is the time. And we've some of the best mentors in the space. So you're going to be well taken care of. And it's just a lot of positivity as well. It's really fun to do this together. So that being said, let's get right into it. BNB looking good. I think you're muted, Trip.
Hello, testing.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. BNB's already had a decent run up already. Testing the pretty much at all-time highs, really close to it anyways. All-time high is about 793. We're currently sitting at 742, and pretty much 750 is the resistance that we're looking for. We want to see a daily close above this level to confirm that breakout entry. And if you look down here, we've already got increasing volume. So this is a very good sign for the breakout already as it stands. It could be another one of the coins like ADA or XRP that kind of does its own thing while Bitcoin just sits there and kind of consolidates for a bit. So I would definitely keep an eye on BNB as one of the next big large cap players that could make the next move coming over the next week or two.
Yeah, when BNB moves, it moves. It does tend to have these pretty big runs. So that's really exciting to see. Sid says, hopes this altcoin season continues into August. I mean, yeah, potentially we could get a few months of really great altcoin season. So Ryan, everybody welcome on this show. I'm not sure what you're referring to here, man, but welcome to the stream. All people are welcome here. We're having ATH cocktails, so all-time high, and also coffee. And I said earlier that I should have made an espresso martini. But yeah, we're just having our coffee, grabbing our popcorn, whatever floats your boat, okay? And teaching you how to change your life. That's it. That's the bottom line. So get on board with that and we're all good, right? And yeah, I do believe, Sid, that we're going to have some phenomenal months of altcoin trading coming up here. So stay tuned. We're still going to go over some more charts here on that in a minute. But yeah, BNB looking good. Next, we have SUI.
Yeah. So Rob's going to cover a leverage setup on this as well. But right now, we're just looking for the 1 day. This is the bigger picture. So there's two ideas that you have here. You can get a pullback entry where we're looking for a retest of the triangle potentially, or you're waiting for the breakout entry above this resistance around $4.07 or so. So SUI is also another one of those coins that could be on its way to making a breakout to new highs, at least locally. So I would definitely be paying attention to this too, along with BNB. SUI's just got a big fan base as well. A lot of people have been watching it for a long time. It's just pretty popular. So when these popular coins start running, people start to FOMO into them. So I would definitely pay attention to this one. The target for the measured move is probably at the 618 for the triangle. If we just give the triangle a measure, we can go from the top to the bottom and just see where that puts us. And we're just over the 1.272 and close to the 1.618. So I would look at this as your main target first. And then potentially if that does break, then you're looking for that $8.69 target at the 2.0 up here. The 1.618 sitting at about $7.39.
Wow. Okay. You don't want to be like Dave Portney and sell your XRP 2 weeks early, or sell your SUI 2 weeks early and be crying. So just pay attention to these charts because, yeah, you're seeing it now before it's broken out. You have the chance to get ready, prepare for that entry, but don't FOMO in. Don't let your emotions run away with you, guys. Just try to stay cool, calm, and collected. You know, if you had a bad day trading, just walk away from the screen, reset, and come back, or sit on the sidelines until you see it clearer. But this is going to be some of the most important months you have coming up here, 4 to 6 months ever. So all eyes on this, just laser focused, right? That's what I say every stream. And Trip, before we switch to Rob, can we just remind people, you had the chart about the July 20th date, and people are wondering, time as I've been getting a lot of questions as to like how long the cycle is going. And I know we've already gone over this on the stream, but just to remind people who are watching, because the title is when to buy altcoins, right? And just more or less where we're at on a macro scale. What was that date? July 20th. Can you just explain it briefly for people who are new?
Yeah, if I can find the chart here, I'll try to bring it over.
Yeah, this chart is really helpful to also to just zoom out and get a different perspective. Like that's what this all is. It's just tools to find confluence in different ways, right? So this is like a Bitcoin map.
Right. So these are trend-based fibs. Usually use a trend-based fib when you're already in an uptrend or you're already in a downtrend. So instead of a regular fib where you pull from one point to another point, a trend-based fib has 3 anchor points. So you're pulling from the low of the bottom trend, you're pulling to the top of the highest of the newest trend, and then to the bottom locally of that most recent trend as well. So there's 3 anchor points you pull from. So the reason why this is so interesting is because when you get fibs that line up with resistance levels that fit so well, these are being very respected. So that means that other traders must be using the same tools because they're finding the same outcome. So they're either taking profit or entering at these same specific levels. So it kind of cleans up the noise when you're trying to figure out which levels are the more important. Like we're in price discovery, there isn't any resistance from previous price action to base it off of. So you kind of have to stick with what you have here using fib levels or high time frame charts like the weekly chart we showed before with this very long trend line that we were talking about. So it's another way to really, you're just trying to gauge what we're looking for a bounce or a break on these higher time frames when you're into price discovery. So the key here is when you're using these trend-based time measurements, same thing when you see the horizontal levels being respected. When these vertical levels get respected too, it often means that the next one coming is probably going to be respected just the same. So we've got 3 dates here. The 272 is already passed, and we actually had this chart drawn when we were still around this area when this bottom was pretty much just confirmed. So now that we've got that reaction, we're looking for another reaction at the 0.618 here. The idea with this one is that we could see a retest of the 0.618 horizontal level at the same time as we get to the 0.618 time fib. So you get an inflection point right here at that area. So usually, according to history, this is where you get some of the more important moves, or the next, it's either going to be a big move where it breaks down, or it's going to be a big move where it breaks up, essentially. So again, when we get to the end of the trend on the 1.0, that's going to land on September 22nd. So that's another date you can look forward to. And it could be the same thing. Maybe we're down here making a rising channel. All right, so if we draw the channel here, and we're looking for a reaction on this date on September 22nd, then you could assume that maybe we're going to get a breakdown of this channel that could be forming in that time, or maybe it's going to break out from that channel. Don't really like the way this channel is drawn, though, so maybe it hasn't had that second top yet. I'm just going to try to draw it parallel for now, because that's usually what I base most of my trades off of, is a parallel channel. So two things can happen. We're either going to hit this 1.0 at the level of 135,000 at the same time as the 1.0 on the vertical. That would be a great pairing for the another same example as the 618s where they cross. That's where the 1.0 could cross as well. Or it could be the point where this trend is over and we start a new trend. So from now, it's really too early to tell which direction it's going to go, but it's just giving you a date to aim for. So you know that as the price progresses, if you start seeing some overbought conditions with bearish divergence, this could be that timer for that move. If you see a breakdown of this pattern and then come down to test the 0.618, then you could be forming another trend similar to this one, where we had a move to the upside and pulled back, and we get a move to the upside and pull back. So really, it's just helping you narrow down the timing for everything. So if you don't have a ton of time to stare at your screen every day, then these could help you narrow down those days that you could literally put on your calendar.
Well, there you go. I don't know how much more accurate or, more information you could get based on chart analysis, right? And not crystal ball stuff. I mean, July 20th, a date to look for as far as an inflection point, also September 22nd. I think this is really special analysis. So let us know if you like that in the comments. But this really helps me get perspective. And I think it's really cool just to sort of have in mind as we get closer to those dates. And you have a look at the conditions during those times, like Trip was saying, overbought, oversold, bearish divergence, bullish divergence, all of that during that time will help you get a better gauge. But you'll understand that maybe something important will be happening at those inflection points. So very cool, Trip. Thank you so much for going over that again, just to give everyone an idea of where we're at. Yeah. And on that note, Rob, I think we can pull up your charts now. If Trip, do you have anything to add for now, or should we go ahead and get Rob going?
No, that's pretty much it. It's just a waiting game again to see what's going to happen next.
That's right. So you can wait with your ATH vodka or your coffee or whatever you drink. Whatever you drink, it's all good. JD, $9 ADA by January. Yeah, I mean, man, it's not impossible. It's definitely within the realm. If things get heated, ADA has done crazier things. No one, and this is why we looked at it on the log scale. No one thought when ADA was 4 cents that it was going to go to $3, right? That was like, oh, that's just, can you imagine that somebody could tell you, oh, ADA is going to do a 65x this cycle now? Like, it's hard to imagine that, but it does happen in bull run conditions, and especially for the more quality projects, maybe not to the same extent, but man, you can get some incredible runs. So I agree. It's definitely in the cards. Theta, $50 will change my family's life. Let's go. Antisocial maniac. I'm so glad you're social on this channel, though, because we like that. Yeah, Theta's going to rip this cycle. I don't know. $25 seems dim to me. And if things get heated, like I said about ADA, you don't know where these things can land, right? So yeah, we're all eyes on Theta for sure. AI coin Lavita. Okay, JD, we will get into that possibly after Rob's segment now. So we'll take those requests after Rob. But Rob has a SUI chart to show you that coincides with Trip. So I'm going to put Rob's charts up here. Do you have those down there? Yeah, I see them. Let's just add your charts here. And yeah, take it away, Rob.
All right. So yeah, let's just start off with SUI here. I got another chart I could do as well too. Now, so SUI right here, what I'm looking at is a potential ascending triangle, which Trip had a pendant also drawn out. Now, these indicators here are from a company that we use as well inside the group to help nail entries as well too in the leverage group. Now, what this is telling me is we got a bullish change of character when we were coming up in here. We never got a bullish break of structure. So the best entries is typically when you get a pullback. Now, I put that same trend line that Trip has, which you can go into a deeper retest. Now, sometimes it doesn't come right down here, which is the Monday low, which would be a good entry. Now, if that doesn't hold, I'm looking more for like a one-day SMA 200 retest zone. That's where I have this laid out. Now, the reason these are my favorite patterns to basically play out, and I'm going to show you why, is because I'm going to delete all of that, is because you could distinctly put a ascending trend line on it, basically telling you that you're starting an uptrend, but it's not fully started yet because you haven't put in a higher high yet. Right now, we're getting rejected from this bearish order block, and if we lose like a one-day SMA 9 or something like that, we can put alerts on it to help us nail the entry in down here, but we can get all the way down this trend line, which is a easy entry for a pullback entry. And other things that are telling me that we can get that entry is when I pull up oscillators, they're all overextended, every single one that I use. So basically there, whenever those get to turning over to the downside, that's either going to do one of two things. And create a bull flag and make us go sideways until they cool down and then do the breakout so we can get the breakout entry, set alerts on it. And then what I like to do is once we get up in there and we get that breakout and kind of these are all kind of reset, that's going to help you say, hey, this breakout's legitimate. You're going to get some good volume on it, and you're looking for a fair value gap. Now, what a fair value gap is are these right here. When you get a good straight up in here and you come down and fill them up. These are usually good entries if the market conditions are correct. And then if the market conditions are getting ready for a good pullback, you want to look for more of a lower one to take out liquidity. And I also had an old mentor that you always say that if you can't handle 20 to 30% pullbacks in a bull market, you can't handle crypto. Now we get that pullback down to that area. We're looking at a 27% pullback from right here, somewhere in there, 20%. And that's going to put us right with our entry. And where you can look to start scaling in at is right where that fair value gap is at. Let me pull up my tool over here. So this fair value gap right here is where I'm targeting first. It's where I want to set my alerts at, which is coincide with the one-day SMA 200 at 3.25. And that's going to be an easy zone. I'll put that whole area in as a skeleton zone with 3 to 7x leverage, and my stops will go into SMA 50. Those are, and you might get a little bit of a fake out on the one-day SMA 200, but that's okay as long as these oscillators are resetting. So that's going to be where I'm looking at. And if that does fake out and does go, or doesn't fake out and does go down, then my next entry is going to be this bullish order block with the trend line. And I'm going to start that scale in there and hopefully get a really good run. So that's basically what I'm looking at for SUI. I'm looking for a pullback entry. Now, my next one that I'm going to be I'm looking at as well too is ONDO. ONDO is a very strong token as well too, and this is another very double bottom. Let me see here.
So ONDO, yeah, ONDO is in the RWA space, and we're looking at RWA coins on this channel. It's going to be a very strong narrative. I mean, that's all over the news now. So yeah, ONDO coincides with that as well. So that's.
So ONDO's printing a potential double bottom. We broke the one-day SMA 200. Market's getting kind of overheated. Looks like everything's getting ready to pull back. Oscillators are telling me to kind of wait right now. Let this kind of cool down a little bit, kind of go down a little bit, then get ready to come back up. I'm honestly hoping for a fake out on this one-day SMA 200 retest. We're in a bearish order block right here. If we do get a fake out in this breakout, which sometimes happens, I'm looking for a pullback. When I zoom into the 4-hour chart, as you can see, the oscillators are getting to flip more. We're getting confirmed pullback signals for pullback entries in the 4-hour time frame. What I'm looking for is a bullish break of structure. Now, I had to set up a couple of days ago, and we never got the entry. Never things never pulled back just yet. But the crazy thing is these pullbacks can still happen from all the way up here. We get all the way down here. It's only an 18% pullback, which if you've been in crypto long enough, that is nothing. Like those are just normal pullbacks, and those are the entries I usually like to take whenever I start getting in there. The only thing you have to be careful of is liquidity grabs, or if you sweep the lows. Those are things I look for to take entry. Those are usually my best entries, my best setups, and they're easy swing trades where you can just easily maintain and move up your stop losses if you have a busy life. Like I have to take my kids to a doctor's appointment in about 2 hours from now. I can't sit there be staring at the charts. I have to sit there, have my alerts set up, have my my buys set up. Usually a lot of times what I do is I'll stack my limit buys down towards the lower there, and then I'll place my stop loss I'm gonna go delete all this so it's not confusing looking. So I'll sit there, I'll measure, I'll do a scale in zone of 5% right here. If I'm doing spot luge, I'll do a little bit bigger. And then I'll sit there and I'll figure out, all right, I want to do an entry here, and do my whole scale and entry on this big support zone. That's where I want to stack my limit buys at. Then I'll have my stop losses where I don't want to lose that. I mean, best spot for a stop loss on this one here would be probably, gotta sit there and see if the risk is correct on it. Is probably about 5% underneath there, underneath the 1 day SMA 200. And if there's, you can also put an extra buy in right here as well too, for liquidity grabs, which I would not be surprised if we got one, because they do happen. And just so that way you're prepared for it, knowing what can happen and being ready for it, is because a lot of people will sit there and go in and they don't know what they'll sit there and why did this happen. I'm going to go into that in my next chart. But the last thing on this chart right now, we broke the 4 hour SMA 9. We get a bearish retest of it. Now what I can do is set an alert, which is really simple. You go into your alerts, set an alert, price crossing, SMA 9, create. Now, if it doesn't get all the way down there, my alert set, if we close above it, to where I can go back and look at the chart and maybe take a higher entry than what I expected on this pullback, so that way I don't miss the trade. So those things are some things that I really like to look for to help me nail my positions and to have so I'll set a alert right here. And I could go in and manage my trade from wherever I'm at. Now, if I have my chart all set up and pre-made, I can just go in. If I'm at the doctor's office with my kids, I can sit there and look. I'm like, all right, this is what I want to do. And I just have to obey what I already have planned out and not worry about news, not worry about anything else, and just focus on the setup that I already have made on my computer and just play it out. Now, we had one member that I was just talking to. He was trading ENA, and he bought the breakout of this pattern right here, right? And as you can see, it broke out right here, did a nice retest, and now it's in profit. But this long wick got him. And he actually, I've been talking to him a little bit, and this is where he lost his money. And it wasn't anything that he did wrong, because he felt like he did something wrong. No, he just wasn't prepared. And that's where I was talking about those liquidity grabs. As you can see, this was a long liquidity grab. And people on patterns, you're actually, if you go just on the internet, you can just look up how to trade this pattern. They're going to sit there and say, you buy here and you put your stop loss underneath the pattern. And that's exactly what happened. Is he got stop hunted. He had his stop probably underneath the pattern there, and he got liquidated, I think. And then he lost his money and came back up and hit TP. And if you've been in crypto long enough, I'm sure that's happened to you. So something you can sit there and look to prevent that. I'm going to go ahead and use the replay button right now.
All right. We get to see it in action. I mean, this is a very common problem, is getting stop hunted, right? And it's very frustrating. And so I think this is really valuable information for how to avoid this if you're trying to learn how to leverage trade, or even just trading spot, right? So
just spot or leverage, the better you get at it, the more you understand it. I do it a certain way with leverage, and I do it a certain way with spot. So right here, you can sit there and say this bearish order block would be our breakout level. And this is where I think I put it in as a 1 hour chart, or somebody put it in as a 1 hour chart. And right here, you have a bullish order block, right? Now we're going to go in here. Let's see here. I am play. Stop. Sorry. Now, you look at that. We got up to here. We broke out, made a bullish change of character. So if you're trading price action, the best entry for a bullish change of character is where everybody bought the breakout of this pattern is in this down here. So if you bought this right here, what I would do for leverage is my stop loss would be right here. And this is why I use tight stop losses. So my stop loss would have been underneath the SMA 50 or this bullish fair value gap. Bought there, and I would have scaled down in there. And if I went underneath there, I've been stopped out at a very small loss. And then I'll put another entry already ready down in this bullish order block to take, because that's people putting their stop loss up. So I'll be buying people's stop losses, and then it would take off. Now, if I was trading spot and I didn't really have time to watch it at all, I would have bought the breakout here. I would have bought some on the retest here, and then I would put limit buys all the way down where this people's stop loss is at, and just scaled in. I did a big DCA on down there, so that way even if that did come all the way down there, wick down, which it did, it would go right back up. And if it did close back in the pattern, I would probably still be able to close my trade if I didn't like it in profit, or even if it didn't hit TP beforehand, I could sit there and make my adjustments after candle closes. And if we go into here now, and that's what would have
There
happened.
it is.
Boom.
Oh yeah.
So that there is where you can get kind of tricked out. And I think that's where the Chach and patterns, they're both price action. So Chach and Bosses is price action trading, and so are patterns. Patterns just show you the price action in a different form. It's all just based off price action. Now, where the Chach and Boss basically gives you an idea where liquidity may be hunted, and it prepares you for that, which that's all what happened right there. So being prepared for something like that is always good. So, and you could set your alerts so that way you're ready. If you're stopped out, you're like, all right, I want to buy down here. And all that could have been, once we were all the way back in this area right here, that all could have been pre-planned, that whole everything there. So whenever I was younger, my dad was tugboat captain, and he taught me how to be a tugboat captain and stuff like that. And the one thing, as a tugboat captain, they always look for every possible scenario and prepare for everything that you can do. And the reason you do that is because whenever you're working out in the oceans and stuff like that, or in the rivers, whichever it is, the captain's control of everybody's life. And if they make a mistake, people die. So the same kind of thought process here is you're looking for the life of your portfolio. You want to look for any possible scenario that can wreck your portfolio. So you're like, all right, they can come down here. Doesn't mean it will. So that's why you use your risk management skills where you get stopped out. It's okay to be stopped out if you're prepared to buy down here. If you're doing spot, you have a scale in here, but you have a buy down here just in case you get that long wick, and you don't have your stop losses underneath the 1 hour SMA 200, which is a very good strong level. So that would have been, did that even hit that? I don't even know.
I think it did. Yeah.
But you want to wait for that candle close, which it retest the 1 day SMA 200. That's an entry right there, some people will call it. So people bought the 1 day SMA 200 retest right there. They had limit buy sitting there. Somebody with big money had it sitting there waiting. That was a limit buy from somebody. So
interesting. So that would have helped. I mean, this is a great strategy for you guys going into a trade. That's what we say, like, have a strategy going into it. Don't just buy the breakout and hope for the best, right? Like, this is really as good as it gets, is being prepared for these scenarios. So this is really valuable information that we do teach in the group to even greater extent. And I see here some of the comments. KDM, I think you're a member, right? First stream I've watched has been so insightful. I'm glad to hear that. Like, we're really trying to provide as much value as possible and give it to you like it is, not hoping I'm not like, spoon feed you. Like, we really want to teach you. So yeah, did they do the ADA chart already? No, but I guess we've got ADA and Theta people in here. So Trip, you know the drill. We
Right.
usually go over those every stream. So we might be doing those now after we finish Rob's leverage segment. So appreciate the info. Great stream. JZ Fly. Yeah, thank you for being here. JD, $50 Theta would be amazing. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it could even pass that, honestly, over time. So White Dove. Oh, we got a White Dove guy. Mark, welcome to the stream. Theta to 1,000. 100 to me is possible this round. Honestly, like, if you look at it from a different perspective, you check it out on a log scale, it's hard to imagine that now when Theta's sub $1, but we have gone over Theta charts, and it's steadily climbing. And I think Trip referred to it as like a stable trade yesterday or something like that. We'll revisit that. But Real Ice Bear says, makes me realize how much I have to learn. Yeah, there's always more stuff to learn, and always like more things you can add to perfect your craft, right? And that's why I keep saying it's important to like dial in and just be so focused right now, right? And for those of you who are new, welcome to the stream. This is our special Friday segment where we have Rob, our leverage trader, on. So we're just trying to teach people as many different things as possible. I know it's a lot of information to take in. That's why I say grab your coffee, your popcorn, your drinks, and just kick back and enjoy this free education, right? We are going to give away 1 month for free to our premium trading group, the Capital Mindset, at the end of the show, which we're coming up to soon. So stay tuned for that. We're going to do a random draw. And also we have our sale for 20% off for our crypto trading group and stocks. So all the group. That is today is the last day. And actually we extended over the weekend. So Sunday technically is the last day for that. So yeah, JD says, Megan, the Theta rep. Yeah, I want to work for Theta and do their marketing. I want to help them out with that. I really think I can. Is pulse chain analysis possible? Christina, I think you're a fan of pulse chain, or you must hold a lot of it. We might be able to look at that. 808 Mimi's winner. Yeah, not yet. We'll see who's the winner, who's going to change their life today. So yeah, on that note, Rob, I'll let you get back to your charts.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm basically finished up just sitting there explaining how that idea right there, that just always something to be ready for and just be prepared. I think being prepared it's not, so you're not in shock when it happens, and you're ready to do an action or something like that. Instead of sitting there going, what just happened? You're like, oh, this just happened. I need to do this right now. And just having that all pre-planned in front is usually a very good idea, which I will be doing more of these type of live trainings here soon in the leverage group. So those are the type of live trainings I do, which I haven't been, it's summertime, so lots of time with my kids right now. But once they're back to school, I'll be doing more of those. But anyway, so we're like, so it's like, where do you do now? So whenever that all happens out, it's like, what do you do now? Well, now we're just in an upstream, and we're looking for, if we're getting a good pullback on everything, you're just going to look for another pullback buy. Me, I'm a pullback buyer. I'm not a breakout buyer. I'm more of a pullback buyer, which is sometimes very good. Sometimes in the last week with the ISO tokens, the pullback buys haven't been happening, but at some point they usually do, and that's usually whenever I start to shine.
Right.
But,
yeah.
it's all in what you're comfortable with, and those are just usually the ones where I can get a good position on, where it's easy to maintain once you're in profits.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
But
absolutely.
other than that, yeah, there's the two setups. That's just kind of what I want to talk over on, and just a couple setups that we had going on. Last time I was on stream, we were talking about SHIB, and I believe that I actually didn't get to play it because of my busy schedule. But whenever it did play out, basically, I did also post that in group. I didn't even sit there and I didn't get the update it just yet in group. But it did actually go down and hit the fair value gap entry. As you can see, my green lines are down here. This is where it hit. So I think it was up here whenever we talked about it. I'm going to go ahead and do a replay. So this was something we did. We talked about last Friday. So we were up in here. We were saying, look for the breakout in here. If it doesn't hold, we're going to buy this fair value gap down in this area. Was that a one-day chart? Yeah, it was a one-day chart. And that was in that fair value gap area. I probably had it zoomed in. You wanted to buy that support, and you go in, came back, went down there, got your entry down in there, made that break of structure right there, formed that order block from back to here, came back, got entry, and now it's hitting. Now it's starting to hit TPs, and I think it has a lot more room to go up before we can close it. But so yeah, SHIB, it is playing out. I actually didn't get to play it because whenever it came, I didn't have my limit bias on that one because I was iffy on the market conditions, and whenever my alerts go off, I was not able to check it, to be completely honest. So we do miss trades, and that is part of the game as well too. And what do I do from here is usually the question you ask. Well, this is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to look at it. Where are we at? Really simple. We're moving on the one-day SMA 200. Oscillators are overbought. I want to wait for a clear volumes going up. I want to delete everything I have on there. I want to wait for a clear break and retest of this SMA 200 and make sure that's going to hold a support before I zoom in and do another entry, because there is a potential chance that we do get to pull back. Nothing's pulled back just yet. These order blocks are still here in the 4-hour time frame. And yeah, we still have fair value gaps in 12-hour time frame that never got filled. So there is that potential for that pullback idea. So it's either we confirm the one-day SMA 200 support as support, or we don't. If we confirm it as support, I don't have to sit there and trade it higher. If we don't confirm support, I get a better pullback entry. It's either A or B. One of the two are going to happen at some point. So it's just waiting for that confirmation, waiting for that one-day close, waiting for that retest. The volume is building up, but we are in this. If we break this bearish order block, we're going up to the next one. So it's just waiting for those confirmations is basically key, and patience. You don't want to, like, right for now, for me, I don't want to front run this. My oscillators are bearish. We're retesting the 4-hour SMA 9, and we feel this order block, but look at the sell volume coming. There's not very much buy volume coming in right now. The volumes get kind of dying off from buyers, unless something comes in randomly, and then I have to buy a breakout at some point. But I'm still going to wait for that confirmation on this one-day close right here. So it's just all, a lot of times you're just waiting for that confirmation. So there's always, what do you do next? And
Right.
when you look at, did I really miss anything from that last trade setup? When you start looking at SHIB, just from a one-day standard, it's a giant one-day double bottom potentially building that can go all the way up to here. So there's still lots of room to run. I didn't really miss anything. Typically, you want to buy above the one-day SMA 200 when you're trading long. So lots of room to run.
Right. Yeah. And that's the way to look at it. You zoom out and you look at the bigger picture. Like if you're so dialed into these lower time frames, it's so hard to, you kind of lose sight of it. And you can let FOMO run away with you and try to chase the trades and try to, there is a time for front running potentially during certain market conditions. But now, like Rob's saying, the oscillators are showing we're having a cool down. So yeah, all of this is so valuable in trading strategy. And it's like, Miyagi and the Karate Kid, like just wax on, wax off, like Tripp says. It's just repetition and practice in the group. And Rob is updating these charts. But hey, what I'm hearing here too is that if you had followed that trade last Friday, you'd be in profit right now, potentially, or you could have taken profits. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help you. Every Friday, we're going to have Rob on as long as he can make it. And yeah, it's really, really valuable information. So thanks for sharing that, Rob, for sure. Not Jack, welcome to the stream. I remember you joined late. Did you miss HBAR? I mean, we have our regulars here. There's our regular HBARs, ADAs, and Thetas. So yeah, no, you did not miss it. We didn't go over HBAR yet today. We did go over that yesterday, I believe. But Rob, this has been golden, man. This has been so valuable. And I hope you guys all, if you need to replay this, I'll try to put timestamps because I know that's really helpful. But this is like trading 101, but like, the insider scoop version. So yeah, Rob, good stuff.
A real life experience, like things that I go through, things that happen to me, like I miss trades. I get stopped out sometimes. It's all real. Like it's not just like, oh, I got an entry and it hit TP. That it's not that easy. It is that easy, but it also isn't that easy at the same time. It's kind of weird.
Right.
There's a balance to it, and it's also learning that. Like I had to go like last night. I want to do some more things on a live for a training, but I had to go in and back test some certain things because market conditions are changing. I'm like, all right, I might have to start changing my entry style and my risk management style just because the market conditions are different, and you have to update everything. And during different market conditions, you have to do things differently. And it's just the way it is. And that's why you have spot bags. That's why you do leverage trading. You keep it all separate. And just everything's a little bit different. On leverage, you're trying to take more advantage of short-term gains, where on spot, you're trying to take more midterm to long-term gains. So
absolutely. So strategy matters. And we go over that in the group as well. And Rob and Tripp and all of our talented admins are updating around the clock for you guys. So yeah, Rob in the house, Mike says. What up, Mike? Are you a member? I guess Mike's a member, huh? Or a friend of yours. But yeah, Rob, we love you having you on the stream and sharing your insights with us like this. So now you guys have some setups to watch until next Friday. I want to hear some positive feedback about,
SUI pullback. I really want that one.
Yeah, exactly. So I love those upper trend line, possibly ascending triangle buys on the lower support levels. That's my favorite type of entry. Right. So we potentially got that with SUI as well, like we discussed. This is an HBAR chart.
This one here is an HBAR chart I'm looking at. You guys said it, so I couldn't help but click on it.
Well, there you go. You got your HBAR chart, Mr. HBAR. I don't remember who said that. Oh, not Jack.
Yeah, this is a 3-day chart, actually. We're in a bearish order block right now in the 3-day, but we got a bearish or bullish change of character in the 3-day, which I'm really liking. I'm just looking at it. We come like me, 1-day SMA 200 retest. Like we never retested. We broke it and we just kept going up. And I always said we're never going to retest. Whenever I remember when I first started trading, I'm like, oh, we will get this high, and I'll sit there and say in my head, there's no way we're ever going to retest it. We're too far away. And then a week goes by or a week and a half goes by, and all of a sudden we're retesting it, and then I was scared to buy it. My trading styles changed so much. I'm just trying to see how much of a pullback that is. So that might be something. If we do get a pullback on it, I'm definitely going to be loading up again on it.
So what is that level as we speak?
It is 28.45.
Okay. All right. So levels to watch for HBAR, guys.
Which is a very large fair value gap here. That's where I put that line as a center. So I think anywhere in this fair value gap is a great opportunity for scaling in, which is right here from 21,971. That's like a gift if we get it now. Right. And yeah, that's also a double bottom retest.
Hey, and we still got a long way to run after that. So yeah, HBAR looking good.
But as I said, that one mentor that I had at one point, he always said 30% dips are normal in crypto, and that 1-day SMA 200 is 30% away. So
there you go. We got to stomach those pullbacks, guys. We want the exponential gains and have a plan, which we are going to help you with. Mike says, good stuff, guys. So how do we get in the drawing? I know they're like, give us the juice. We want to know, when is that contest going to happen? So we're just about there. I think Trip will take a couple of requests. And Rob, I just want to thank you again. That was an amazing segment. We always love having you on stream. And then after Trip takes a few chart requests, we'll do the drawing and end the stream and send you off on a wonderful weekend, guys. So yeah, on that note, Rob, thank you so much for all your insight. Patience is key, guys. Wait for those pullbacks. And, you know, all of the advice that Rob has given is gold. So do try to follow that and add it to your trading strategy. And otherwise, you can sign up to the group and get it in real time as Rob is posting it and Trip and all of our admins. So thank you, Rob.
Bitcoin dominance poem is going down. Buying the dips that make you sick are usually the best dips to buy when Bitcoin dominance is trending down.
There you go. There you go. Buy the dips that make you sick. I like it. I like it.
But anyway, I have to get off here as well, too. I have to go take my kids to the doctor's appointment. So wish me luck on that one.
Okay. Good luck, Rob. And thank you so much for being here. And Trip and I will take it for the rest of the stream, guys, and we'll announce the winner now in a few. But thanks again, Rob.
Thank you.
All right, Trip. Wow. This has been a stream. This has been a party for sure. Yeah, that's good stuff. So we're back to our, our other routine, which is taking a few requests before we get to the winner. I know we've had our usuals, but we did JD. We're going to get to his chart because he has been a supporter of the channel all throughout. So JD wanted to see Lavita, I believe, right, JD? So let's see if we can pull that one up.
I've got that one up here. It looks like the one on crypto.com.
Mm-hmm.
It says Lavita AI. So yeah, I can't find it on another exchange. So we're gonna have to use this chart for now. But yeah, like it could be a good project. I'm assuming you're looking at it for fundamental reasons because the chart really isn't giving me much of a buy signal from here. This thing has just been rolling over and it's actually below its previous low and it's making it's pretty much making new lower lows still. So I probably wouldn't enter into this trade right here. If your idea is to scale in again, then yeah, that could be an entry idea, but you really don't know how much further this could keep going down before it starts to do a reversal. So from here, it's a little too high risk for my taste. I don't really see a bunch of divergences or anything yet. You've got a bearish MACD cross coming into the picture as well. So everything on this chart is telling me that it's not ready to buy yet. So I would be waiting for entry if I was looking for one. But as it goes now, it just doesn't look quite ready. If it keeps dipping down, right, like there's no limit to how low it could go from here. I don't know much about this coin, so I don't know the fundamentals behind it. I don't know the tokenomics behind it either. But as far as the chart goes, yeah, I don't think it's ready to pop quite yet.
Right. And that's where it comes in, like JD, like you said, the fundamentals, depending on why you're holding it. I know I know it's part of the Theta ecosystem where it's on Theta, right? So also I think just when Theta starts to really shine, maybe a lot of the ecosystem will shine as well. But I know there's just a lot of low caps, like also Venture Mind. I bought into that right around like 0.008 and we were in profit for a while, but a lot of those mega low caps have kind of like taken a huge correction now and they won't be the first ones to pump, right? So yeah, I got the airdrop. Yeah, exactly. I got the airdrop as well, Lavita. So yeah, I think a lot of that is just kind of waiting on this cycle to get going and waiting for AI to heat up and Theta because they're Theta ecosystem tokens. So yeah, that's what we got on that. AI will definitely boom, you guys. Have no doubt about it. AI as a sector in general is going to rage. I mean, that is the whole reason why we're going to have such a massive GDP growth in the next 5 years to the decade is that we're going to be the most productive we've ever been as humans. And that leads to higher GDP, lower inflation, and AI is going to make that possible. How many of you use Grok and ChatGPT on a daily basis? All of us, right? I don't think there's one person in the chat to say no. So yes. Cardano says you complement each other perfectly. Thanks, Cardano. I love that name. Wow, bold. I like it. And we have our Cardano guys in the chat as well as we did HBAR. Rob covered that. So shall we pull up Cardano and have a look at that before we get to the drawing?
Yeah, sure. I was looking for Pulse Chain too. I saw somebody.
Oh, right. Pulse Chain. I almost forgot about that. Sorry, Christina. Remembered your name though.
I don't know if this is the right ticker. I just looked on CoinMarketCap and it says it's PLS USD, USDT potentially, but it's not coming up here. Is there something else I can type in that you know of that'll help me find it?
Oh yeah, Pulse. Christina, do you know where we can find the Pulse chart? And in the meantime, yeah, JD says Lavita staking is 27%. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, if it's a long-term play and you want to just see where it goes, why not stake it? I staked my Venture Mind, VENTR. That's also a Theta play, Theta ecosystem. So they're partnered with them. So yeah, I just set it and forget it. And those are kind of the moon bags, right? Christina, do you know where we can find Pulse Chain chart? Can you help us out with that? In the meantime, I think maybe we can have a look at Cardano.
Sure. I don't think it's listed on any major exchanges right now. I'm looking at it on CoinMarketCap, and it says it's on Safe Trade, Kanga Exchange, and another one I've never heard of. So it might not be too popularized yet. So it's not bringing it up on the TradingView charts for now.
Right.
So yeah, we'll jump into the ADA chart, I guess, next. And this is just an update from our previous setup. So we've been testing this double bottom neckline. It kind of looks like it's retesting right now, but it's still a little bit iffy. Again, you've got some support back here where this gray line that I'm using is more so showing the range. So this is actually still a support level. It didn't quite go up to this white line. This is over back here is where we got that solid bounce on this white trend line. And then over here, again, you got that other rejection. So there's both to look at. You got a resistance on the top and you have support on the bottom. So within this little range, I'm going to allow that some leeway. So they could still be potentially retesting. You do have good volume down here to confirm that it's trying to break out. People are anticipating a breakout at the very least with that volume coming in. So ADA looks okay. Really just want to see a candle close above that double bottom neckline though, if you're considering an entry. If you were trying to scale in now, maybe I would start with maybe 10 to 20% of your position as part of your scaling in strategy. But right now I would just be slightly cautious about it.
Right. Yeah. Slightly cautious, but very bullish on the macro scale. It's all, we're just kind of looking for what Bitcoin is going to do next and a little bit of a reset here. But yeah, phenomenal. ADA's looking good. So I think on the charts, we got our Theta people. So maybe we'll do one last chart for Theta because I know everybody's looking at Theta. We got a lot of Theta and ADA gang here. So let's have a look at Theta and then we'll announce the winner.
Yeah, Theta. We were talking about it could be an easy play just because it's like a lazy long setup essentially where you don't have to monitor the trade too much just because it looks like it's pretty much bottomed out and you're aiming for up only essentially from here. The only other idea that could happen is maybe you get a triple bottom, right? So these double bottoms, if Bitcoin rolls over, you could get another bottom over here. So that could be a third buying opportunity on this support level. The other bullish idea, though, is that you do have a golden cross coming into the picture. So the 50 MA on the 1 day is broken already. And now we're heading up to resistance, getting close to the 1 day 200 MA. So once you see that break above resistance, and the 200 MA, then I would probably get a little more confident in adding to a bigger position. Right now, though, yeah, you're just below resistance, right? So if you get rejected here, you could get something like this. And that's usually how it works, is that the charts somewhat balance each other out. So if you get a resistance at this level here, and then you look to the left even further, you had a second test of that resistance and a bit of a pullback. So you might get another test of this resistance and a bit of a pullback, and the charts will sort of mirror itself in a sense. So really you just need a little more confirmation to say that Theta is going to start taking off a little faster than what it's been doing, but it's been pretty solid with its growth so far. It's slow and steady already.
Oh yeah, and this is the lazy long idea, in that we're still sort of like, not ground level entry like we were before when we first started talking about it on the stream, but it's not had such a pump as other coins. So still great opportunity. Theta has a lot of room to run. We all know that, all the Theta people anyway that are following it closely. So this is exciting. Christina says try Hex for Pulse Chain. That Hex might come up. And after that, guys, the way we're going to do the giveaway is we're going to ask Grok a random number because, sorry, I couldn't find a random comment picker to integrate with StreamYard, which is what we use. So we're going to have Grok pick a random number from 1 to 100, which is, I'm assuming, more or less the amount of comments here. And whatever one it lands on, I'm just going to count it out and see what comment it lands on and whose name. Sorry that I can't have a better method, but that way you guys know it's just all fair, right? So, yeah, Hex. Have we found Hex?
No, I think Hex was, I forget his name, but he was a YouTuber for a while that created that coin too, Hex.
Richard Hart was
Richard Hart.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So did that change from hex to pulse or pulse to hex? I don't
I
know the
believe
whole
so.
story.
I believe so. We're having trouble finding it, Christina.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's not coming up so well.
We might have to check that one out on the next stream. 808 Mimi, she was asking, was that the 4-hour chart on Theta that you just showed?
That was the daily chart. So a daily golden cross is what you're looking for here.
All right. All right. And those are powerful. That's a powerful signal right there coming up. So stay tuned. Okay, guys, I think, sorry, Christina, but we can get to that in the next stream. We'll also have a look at all the other coins. We'll have a look at XRP on Monday. But yeah, we're going to draw a comment now. Trip, can you go ahead and just ask Grok to pick a random number 1 through 100? And let's see who's going to win this free month to the trading group.
Sure. I have to switch screens here, so give me a moment.
Yeah, guys. I mean, we just want to give back to all those who've been supporting us continually, and this is the best way we found to do it for now. I do work with a lot of different projects, and I advise for different coins. So maybe we can do a giveaway in the future of one of those. But for now, we're going to do our trading group today, which is gold, right? Because that's going to help you learn to fish and help you change your life. And then on other streams, we may be doing different kinds of giveaways. So stay tuned for that. Should I go ahead and share your screen now, Trip?
Sure. I'm just counting how many comments are here. So we got.
Yeah, it's more or less. You could put 100. I think that'll be. I counted them while you were doing the charts.
Okay. So Grok, pick.
All right, guys. Drum roll, please. Let's see who Grok wants to choose today as the winner.
Ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. Let's see what Grok says. 42.
42. God, Grok wants me to count. Okay, guys, just bear with me while I count this. Trip, you can give him some advice while I'm counting them out. Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, like we're really just waiting to see what the market's going to do over the next couple of days. Bitcoin hit that 120K resistance that we were talking about, and we assumed it was going to be a strong psychological resistance level. So now it's bumping up against it a couple of times. We breached it a little bit yesterday, but now we've basically come back down to about 117,000, and really the support level that we're looking for in this local range is around 115,000. So it's about a $5,000 range from 115,000 to 120. Really, we're looking for some kind of a signal where it's a bullish reversal idea, like a double bottom or another bottoming pattern, or some kind of a falling wedge on Bitcoin to decide what's going to happen next. We don't really have much too predictive data yet or left at this point, and we don't have much structure to really give us an idea of whether it's bullish or bearish at the moment.
Okay, so thank you very much. And drum roll, please. We don't have those, but we're going to get them because we're going to vamp this stream up, guys. We've been looking for some really quality partners to bring you a lot more value, and we'll be doing a lot of giveaways. So don't worry if you don't win today. You can have a chance next week. And the winner is, I counted out 42 comments. Now, this is from YouTube, Twitter, from all the different things here on my StreamYard. And the winner is JD. JD, you won a month to our premium trading group where we also do announcements, spot trading, leverage trading, all of that jazz. So it's on Telegram, and you have won. So, Trip, how can he get in touch with you to join the group?
He could just join the link at the bottom of the screen or the bottom of the screen share that we're doing, and that'll bring you to our membership bot, and just send a message there. Just tell me who you are and what you're there for. Just tell me that you're the winner, and then I'll help you out from that point.
All right, so congrats to JD, guys. Everybody else, we're bringing in the energy, going hard. We're having so much fun, so we're going to do a lot more giveaways. So don't worry if you didn't win today. We are just so happy to have you here. Just go out there and touch some grass. Just start, studying, doing everything you can, and just have a positive attitude because what a time to be alive, like somebody said in the beginning of the stream. Love you guys all so, so much. Congrats again, JD, and have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you again on Monday. And yeah, Trip, thanks again.
No worries. Thank you.
All right. See you guys later.